choice. Here I come.
Radiant
It's over.
May 1,000 gales
If it's in the sky, it's mine.
Dragon
I
Swarm.
never
You
miss.
apart. Thought of peace hunting, anyone?
Lunar corruption. By the tempted world.
Now you see what I can do!
Hit.
Captivity!
Go get
I'll
it.
face
Lunar
you.
corruption. Lunar
Here I
world.
come.
Glacial energy.
Take this!
Hear me. Flame of fury.
Burning strike.
Glacial sphere. Here's evil.
Take it! Take this! Does it hurt?
Dragon Swarm.
Seismic Luster!
Hold on to your art.
Dance on the
Here I
wind!
come. Into the shadows. Melee. Light action in the wind. Not on my watch. Raging storm. Magna ray.
You're mine. You're finished.
Water it!
Here I
Ferocious
come.
Fury.
Illuminate the dark. Magic dance.
I'll smash you!
Burning holy water. Here I
Take
come.
this.
Spread.
A thrilling performance.
Dragon Swarm.
Searing
Take
flame.
this.
Carry you to shreds. This one's mine. There. Go.
Try harder.
Nail.
Raging Luna Storm!
Where are you going?
Dragon
Think of the
Swarm.
abyssal deep. Clear for us.
Dragon Swarm.
Lightning annihilation. Illuminate the dark. Come forth, holy fire. Holy land.
Explosive ring.
Glacial sphere.
Dance on the
Fire
wind.
evil.
Ferocious Fury.
Reflect on thy skin.
Freeze lancer.
They smite with blackened blade.
Freezing storm.
Try harder.
Ready and raring.
Ice tornado.
I'll smash you!
Searing flame.
Raging Luna Storm!
Don't mind if I do. Lunar corruption. Wind and hell of water. In the wind. Annihilation.
You're mine.
Get on top of the other. Lightning condemned. Now for something
Forgive me.
Blah, 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 magic.
Snake of the abyssal deep. It's time.
Searing flame. Reload.
Aqua Serpent!
Cyan in. Back into the fray.
I owe you one.
If it's in the sky, it's mine. It's time to finish this. Die. Consuming wildfire. There. One
Raging
more.
Luna Storm!
I never miss. Raging torn.
No further!
Hear me. Flame of fury. Here's another one.
This one's all mine.
Denied.
Dust!
Lunar corruption. Wind
You're
and
mine.
energy.
Kisara. Commander of Heaven.
Phoenix Cyclone!
They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds. Dispose of the trash.
Dragon Swarm.
Searing
Green
flame.
gate of blood, rending you apart!
Be careful, everyone. This one isn't normal.
In here.
I'll take you up.
Flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Resonate with the earth!
Holy land.
Dragon Swarm.
Leave the enemy's
We've
arms
turned the
to me.
tables on them.
There are still more left.
Right. No time to hold back.
Not on my watch.
What?
Dragon.
Anything in armor is all mine! Captivity!
Nothing gets by me. Now.
Now we're not...
Go. Searing flame. Reload.
In a bind?
Eat dirt!
I'll smash you!
Out
of the way.
Fury! Burning strike! Dance to the wind! Hear my call!
Dragon Raging Luna Storm!
This one's mine!
I'm ready!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
You're mine!
Can you take it? Crescent flash! The
Dragon
screen
Swarm!
bathed in blood, rending you apart!
Now!
Bloody
Let's
howling!
go!
Blow them away! My exploits are bearing fruit.
You picked the wrong fight!
Whatever you do, just stay away from the force!
Dragon Swarm!
The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Holy Lance!
They smite with black blade!
Lunar corruption!
Devastation!
Lunar blast! Now!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lunar
Dragon
corruption!
Swarm!
Lunar blast! Now! With this, I can become even stronger!
We've sure climbed up a long way, haven't we?
Watch your step ahead. With no fencing in place, it would be quite hazardous to fall.
Go no further!
Can't get out of this!
Eat dirt!
Burn!
Can you take it? I shall ensure you survive this! Leave the agile one to me. Resonate
Get
with
out
the
of there
earth!
with the others!
Stalagmite!
This one's mine!
Green bathed
Not
in
in
blood.
your dreams!
Rending! I'm ready!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Illuminate the dark! There! How's this?
Take this!
Radiant Here!
I'll grind you with a
I'll
smash you!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Right, here goes!
Snake could be a
It's
bit
on!
clear for us a path.
Radiant here!
Here I come! It's open! Burn in hell!
It's like trying to keep up with a wall!
Come and face me!
Annihilation!
We got flyers!
I've got it! Let a marksman handle it! Holy glitter!
All yours! Try harder!
Hear my call!
I'm not done!
An astral
That's
I
my cue!
have no limits!
Mega ray!
Shut him down!
Mega ray!
Devastation!
Holy lance!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
There!
I'll face you!
Damn it! It's too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up!
This one's all mine!
Negative gate!
Please now!
Front!
They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Manuel!
I'm not scared! I'm totally fine! Do it!
In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Burn!
This one's mine! Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more. They've really got us on the ropes.
Don't forget to heal your wounds.
The design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
see what you've got.
You're mine!
You got company!
In a bind?
Lunar corruption!
Far enough!
Shining
I can carve through armor!
This one's gonna be tough! Dragon Swarm!
Snake is the official
Lunar
defender
Rondo!
of the pack!
Here I go! Now! Astral energy!
Say no more! Shot!
Well done!
Dragon Swarm! Catapult! Plasma
Now!
Shock!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ashes!
So, fire and earth astral energy, huh?
A perfect combination. My word, this must be the work of Providence.
But what now?
It means destiny. I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
Forgive you!
The abyssal deep clear for us to pass!
Dragon Swarm! Plasma Shock!
Illuminate the dark! Holy
Lunar
Radiance,
Rondo!
look here!
No dawn shall break this
Hear my
night!
call!
I'll take you all on!
Glacial shield! Here's evil!
I can carve through armor!
Illuminate
You're
laser!
mine!
Tough force! Holy glimmer! Holy
Take
red!
this!
Freezing storm! Do it!
Hurricane shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
You can't get out of this!
The flaming
I'm ready!
Never sit! This one's got your name on it!
Ash to ashes!
Firmament render!
Elusive deity! Rotating pile driver!
Elusive Fury!
Annihilate! Do it!
Dragon Swarm!
Kisara! All yours, Kisara! Resonate with the earth! Stalagmite!
Dragon Swarm!
Rending you apart!
Air thrust!
There's more where that came from.
This will be a delicious piece of cake!
You picked the wrong fight!
Denied! Hold on to your art!
Dragon
Here I
Swarm!
come!
I can shatter any steel!
Air pressure! After being interrupted, flying freaks! Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and the pummeling to me!
Lightning condemned! Thunder! I'll heal you all! You got healing circle! Radiant storm! Radiant
Plasma shock!
Here's a healing arm!
Devastation!
First aid!
Lunar Rondo!
There!
No further! Yours to be let free!
Illuminate the dark!
Resonate with
Hold
you.
on now!
Shock! Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Reload!
Dragon Swarm!
Hear my call! Right now! Spread! This one's mine!
Devastation! Lunar Rondo!
Please let Gale Force!
Fury!
Do it! Photon Flash! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Lightning condemned!
Resonate with the earth.
Thunder! Illuminate the dark! Mega Ray! This one's mine! Holy Lance!
Dragon
Lunar
Swarm!
Corruption!
Plasma shock!
I can feel my precision improving.
Forgive you!
In a
Come and
bind.
face me!
Giant Instant! Raging Storm!
I can carve through armor.
Take Photon Flash! Mega Ray! Not in your dreams! By the
Negative
power
gate.
of water!
Dragon
Let the
Swarm!
light stick. They smite with blackened blade.
Firmament Render!
Burn!
Here!
Dragon Swarm!
Ready.
Totally! In an instant! Impact block! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Looks
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword, and with my thorns.
Shia.
I'm out of ammo! I never miss!
Dragon
Blazing
Swarm!
Storm!
Plasma shock!
Illuminate the dark!
Devastation!
Holy Clear! Holy Lance! Radiant Pierce!
You require a hand.
Hear my call!
Take
Do
it!
it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! I can feel my power growing!
Can't get out of this!
I'll
smash you!
Far enough! It'll bond us into next week!
Plasma shock!
Radiant
Elusive
Love here!
deity!
Lunar Rondo!
Hitting pile driver!
Into the shadows! Raging Storm! Arch Field! Gemini Aqua! Don't mind if I do! Annihilation! Tempest Whirl!
Rotating Fury!
Raging Storm!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to strike! Astral Energy!
Hold nothing back! Now I can let loose!
May 1,000 gales carry you to tread!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc! Raging Cascade!
Dragon Swarm!
Here!
Any more of this and I'll burn out!
Maybe show Kisara a little kindness, huh?
She is strong. She can handle herself.
You can be really dense, Helene.
Hurricane Thrust!
Water! Hear my call!
Elusive deity!
Burning
I can carve through armor!
Glacial Spear! Here's evil!
Require a hand. Can't get out of this!
Freeze Lancer! Vanquish darkness!
Hurricane
Let me
Fury!
Begin!
First aid! Divine Cyan is welcome!
Dragon Swarm!
By the power of water!
Plasma shock!
Lightning orb!
Devastation!
Steer into the wind! Air thrust! A freezing hold on to your heart! Here I come!
I'll grind you into dust!
Lightning
Dragon Force!
Illuminate the dark! I'm on the Holy Cliff! Holy Land! Seven-Eye Aqua!
Dragon Force!
Easter! Where are you going?
Allow me to help you.
Sorry. I didn't want to put you out.
What our friends are for, we can't depend on one another.
You're right. I'll bear that in mind.
Soaring Drop!
I'm all stopped up! Wind Astral Energy!
Hurricane
Lightning
Thrust!
Condense!
Hurricane Thrust!
Illuminate Magic
Fire!
Attack!
Begin!
Holy Land!
In a bind!
Try harder!
Into the shadows!
Resonate with
Seven-Eye
the earth!
Aqua!
Stalagmite!
Holy Glimmer! Into the shadows! Holy
Bathed in
Land!
blood!
Devastation!
You apart!
Downfall!
Snake of the abyssal
Illuminate
deep!
the
Clear
dark!
for us a
Into
path!
the shadows! Holy Glimmer!
You're finished!
No art is being interrupted!
You're mine!
So you clamor for my true power?
Plasma Shot!
Now! I'm out of it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Illuminate Easter! Metal Ray!
Snake of the abyssal deep! Clear for us a path!
Leave the heart to me!
Behold! The earth pulse! Tectonic vision!
Sighted! Where are you going? Lightning Condense! Thunder!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Quite necessary when creating weaponry.
Here?
It's here?
Yes. All the energy flowing through the wedge comes together and collects here.
Is that thing a Zoogle? Holy crap, it's huge!
A central core and a guardian?
Once we beat that thing, it'll stop the wedge from taking in any more astral energy, right?
It seems we're in for a fight regardless.
Here it comes. Stay sharp, everyone!
Is there no end to what the remnants can cook up?
I don't know if that's a machine or what, but I do know it's pissing me off!
Watch yourself. There is no knowing what it is capable of.
Any other wisdom you want to pass along?
Orochi Fury!
Take this!
I'm all stopped up! Holy Land!
Far enough! Now you see what I can do!
By the power of
Snake
water!
of the abyssal
Orochi
deep! Clear
Fury!
for us a path!
Plasma Shot!
Tear you to shreds!
Luna Rondo!
Radiant Pierce!
Devastation!
Radiant Pierce!
No escape!
I'm out of ammo! I'm all stopped up! Card now through all crossblade! Radiant
Plasma
Pierce!
Shot!
Snake of the abyssal deep!
Radiant
Devastation!
Here I go! One more! Illuminate the dark! Not on my watch! Illuminate the dark!
Plasma Shot!
Holy Land! Illuminate magic hands! Holy Land!
Reflect on thy skin.
Where are you
They
going?
smite with blackened blade!
Radiant Pierce! I'm out of ammo!
Now you see what I can do!
I'm all stuffed up! I'm ready!
On your knees.
Here I go! One more!
We turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Air pressure. Bathed in blood.
Plasma Shot!
You apart. Bloody howling.
ever! Devastation!
Take this!
Plasma shock! Devastation!
I could do without this pain. Show thy mystic mercy. Fairy circle. Okay, you must be tired of healing me. I'm merely doing what I can to help. Glad you're on our side, Johan. Air pressure!
Devastation!
Bathed in blood, rending you apart. Bloody howling!
Don't mind if I do.
Your arts are really incredible.
It's thanks to you I can use them.
And I promise I'll always be
Let them
here.
mark.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. I didn't want you and I both.
Plasma shock!
Illuminate the dark! Holy Lance!
Where are you going?
Orochi Fury!
Glacial Spear. Pierce evil. Denied.
Armor won't save you!
May 1,000 gales tear you to shreds!
Plasma shock!
Gusty nails!
Devastation!
Oh, violent darting wind! Carve now through all
It's time.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Plasma shock!
They've got me in their sight.
Devastation!
No further!
Order healed! May not in your dreams!
Eat dirt!
Glacial
Dragon
Spear.
Sword!
The enemy wields arms
Dragon
too.
Sword!
You'll soon see about that!
Far enough. One more.
Resonate with the
Dragon
earth! Stalagmite! Scream
Try this!
bathed in blood, rending you
Dragon
apart.
Sword!
Now it's my turn!
Dirt.
Air thrust!
I never miss.
Dragon Sword!
Here. Armor won't save you.
Holy Lance!
Don't suffer in silence. This one's all mine.
Radiant
Devastation!
Searing flame! Reload!
Plasma shock!
Big whirl!
Rotating pile climber.
Hear me! Dance in the wind!
Sleep
Now! Hear my
Plasma
cry!
shock!
Spread! Hear me!
Devastation!
Rending you apart.
Now for something special! Freezing storm! Lightning
Now
orb!
Orochi Fury!
Light after dance!
No further.
Here!
I can handle it.
Air thrust!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope there was improvement.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look flustered.
Denied.
Take it!
I can carve through armor!
One more.
And flame! Dance in the wind! Sleep now!
The abyssal
I'll be
deep clear for us
saving
all.
this amount. Let the marksman handle this.
Vanquish darkness!
Plasma shock!
Glacial Spear.
Devastation!
Pierce evil.
Divine! Now freeze, Lancer! Radiant pierce!
Plasma shock! Try harder! Plasma shock! Devastation!
Ready and raring!
Where are you going?
Don't mind if I do!
There. Go.
Firmament render!
I owe you one.
Here!
Devastation!
Here I go! Amazing! Not long to go now.
We couldn't have done it without you, Rinwell.
Thanks!
No
Come on.
further.
Let's you and me get in there and finish this fight!
Radiant pierce.
Eagle ray.
Radiant pierce.
Dragon Swarm! Burn in hell! Dragon Swarm!
Armor won't save you!
Far enough.
Plasma shock! Devastation! Dragon Swarm! Plasma shock! Devastation!
I'm ready.
Jill!
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
What the hell is going on?
It's too dangerous! Stay back!
You okay?
Hey, are you crying?
I'm not the only one.
I heard it. Whatever it was, I heard it.
As did I. I'm not sure I'd call it a voice, but it was there. What in the world just happened?
That was Dana's astral energy we just encountered. And I think what we heard might have been its voice?
You're saying astral energy has a mind of its own?
I haven't the slightest idea. But do you remember what happened when we fought Balseph back in Calaglia?
You mean when that fire monster came out of the spirit vessel?
Exactly. There was such a huge overflow of astral energy, it caused a monster to spawn and take physical form. Maybe the same thing happened here, just with way more astral energy and a bigger monster.
Does that mean if you gather enough astral energy, it can become sentient or take a physical form?
That's what I'm guessing, but it's just speculation. Master cores are able to hold a lot more energy than a spirit vessel, but we still haven't seen anything like that happen in our dealings with them.
That being said, there may be a mechanism of sorts inside Master cores and spirit vessels that prevent such reactions.
That fire monster. I remember how it only appeared after Balsef's spirit vessel broke.
Then the reason Rinwell was able to sense all that astral energy earlier must have been because it was too much for that Zoogle to contain by itself.
So, then where do you think the Zoogle went? All that energy and poof, it's gone. The Zoogle with it. Doesn't that sound weird to anyone?
Indeed it does. However, in order for us to move our hypothesis forward, we will need to gather more evidence first. On that note, how are you holding up, Rinwell?
I just can't work out why. Why the voice reached out to me first.
Rinwell?
I can't help but wonder if it's because of my heritage that I was the one to hear it. Sorry. That's a strange thing to think, isn't it? Anyway, we should get going, right? We need to make sure the energy flow has actually stopped.
Are we gonna have to take this winding path all the way back down, too?
Yeah, but if anything, it should be easier than the climb up.
Really?
Well then.
Actually, I've heard it's easier to develop muscle aches when going down.
Seriously?
Forgive you! Man.
This one's all mine! Very circle! Now I can let loose!
Searing flame! Reload! Searing flame!
Let's end this and get a bite to eat instead.
Guess I misread the landing.
Everything all right? It kind of looked like you wanted to get something off your chest.
Huh? Oh,
Or not, you know, whatever.
Yeah. You know...
Yeah?
Sorry, never mind. Just forget it.
You want to try being a little less cryptic, maybe? Yeah, all right, jeez. Sorry for taking an interest.
Stop it! It's okay, Hootle! Sorry. I guess I still don't really know how to put it into words.
Nah, that's fine. No rush. It might help you to talk about it, though.
I'll keep that in mind. And thanks.
Retreat! You know what's good for you.
Sleep now. Get on in there with the... Some fights are better left unfought.
Let's dispose of the trash.
One more! Here's the blade! Annihilate! Get to the wind!
Let's end this and get a bite to eat instead.
way!
I shall ensure you survive this!
Here goes! Regular cyclone! Puddle! Let's cut our losses.
It looks like that beam of light has stopped.
Then is it safe to say we've avoided oblivion for the time being?
I can still sense a faint glimmer of energy, though. It hasn't completely dispersed.
You can tell? Rinwell, your senses seem a lot sharper than before, don't they?
And you said you heard that voice, right?
I guess. Maybe. I don't know. I don't feel bad, though.
If trace amounts, however small, do remain, then it leaves us no choice. We must destroy the entire structure.
What do you suggest? We bring it down piece by piece?
Once that's done, what do we do then?
We go to Lenegus. Even if we could destroy the whole wedge like he suggested, it'd only buy us time. The fact they sent this thing down tells me they're not giving up this planet without a fight.
There's also the matter of the Renis Alma. Its circumstances still have yet to be truly resolved.
But how do we even get to Lenegus?
What if we hotwire one of their starships? There's gotta be one on the planet somewhere, right?
Starships are only seen on Dana at the start and end of the Crown Contest. Otherwise, they remain on Lenegus. Believe it or not, we Renans down here aren't quite as free to come and go as one might think.
Great. Well, I'm out of ideas then. We definitely don't have the tech to build a starship. And even if we found a Renin who'd help, who knows how long that'd take?
Yeah. Waiting for a starship to come down from Lenegus would probably be quicker than that.
Wait. Alphen, when you came down from Lenegus, it had to have been in a starship of your own, right?
Right. Oh, of course.
You can't be serious. That was 300 years ago. There's no way it's still gonna work.
But Alphen didn't wake up until a few years ago. That means it had to have still been functioning that whole time to keep his body preserved.
Indeed. You wouldn't happen to remember where you landed, would you?
My memories around where I parked are still a little hazy, but I do know that I woke up in Calaglia, so chances are it's still in the area. At least it's a place to start. Luckily, that realm's my old stomping ground, so I should be able to get us some help finding her.
This is it.
Yeah. As long as Lenegus stands there, there's no avoiding it.
So what's this help in Calaglia you're planning to enlist?
My buddy Nath. If anyone there knows something, I figure it's him. But first, we need to catch a boat and get back to the mainland. Our first port of call is Ulzebek.
Back where you first started out.
Yeah, along with my dad.
You okay? You don't look so good.
I think I'm just a little seasick, that's all.
Liar.
Huh?
You heard me. You've never been good at hiding your emotions, Shion.
Excuse me? Just what do you... No. You're right. I'm sorry.
Is it about Alphen?
No. Not just him.
Something you can't talk about?
Rinwell, I'm not like the rest of you.
Of course you are! No, I'm serious. Back when we first met, I think maybe then I did think we were different. But now I know that isn't true. You and I are the same, Shion. We're alike in more ways than you know. If any of us is different, it's me. I'm a Danon who can use magic. I may be the last. My family and I have been living in hiding as long as I can remember.
Everyone has their own pain that can be hard for other people to understand. I saw the two of you talking and thought you could use a third wheel. So, here I am. Sorry.
If anyone's the odd one out here, it's me. Believe me, you don't want to listen to my problems.
Want me to go?
I didn't say that.
I get that you must have a lot circling around that head of yours. And that's okay. Whatever's worrying you right now, you're allowed to worry about it. And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. I know I'm not a Renin like you, or a mage like Rinwell. I'm not a sovereign, maiden, or lord. I'm just a Danon who used to be a slave. But regardless of all that, I'm here for you, Shion.
That goes for me too. We all want to be there for you. Me and Hootle and even the boys. I promise. I mean, that is what friends are supposed to do, right?
I said this to Alphen, and now I'll say it to you. You're not alone in this.
Thank you. Rinwell. Kisara.
And right on cue, I think I should make my way back and lie down for a bit. My battle with this ship continues.
Yeah, I better head back too. We wouldn't want the guys thinking they're in charge. Can you imagine Law at the helm? Who knows what kind of trouble we'd get into?
Still, if that's true, then it's all the more reason I have to do this.
I think it's safe to rest here now. All right, something is definitely up with Shion.
Yeah, something big by the looks of it. I've never seen her so serious.
So, do you think we should say something to Alphen then?
I was wondering the same thing myself. But then it occurred to me. Whatever this thing on her mind is, it's probably the last thing in the world she wants people to know about. If she's trying this hard to keep it secret, then it's not really our place to go telling people before she's ready.
Yeah.
I can't tell them. There's just no way I could, right? What am I supposed to do?
Ah, Calaglia. Feels like it's been ages.
And wasn't Zephyr with us too?
Dad.
Hey, chin up. This is your hometown.
Everyone around here looks so much happier than they used to.
I'll say. It feels like an entirely different place. I suppose it's had time to adjust to its newfound freedom.
Zephyr would have been so happy to see this.
Yeah, he really would have. Especially if he knew Law was... Law? Something bothering you, Law?
Nah, I'll be fine. It's just, you know.
It still weighs on you, doesn't it? Running away back then.
I abandoned my home. Then when I finally come back, it's been liberated. What's important is that it's free. I get that, I do. I just... I should have been here.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Danon disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky.
Pretty sure we've heard this somewhere before.
But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains. The event was recorded just before the first Renan invasion.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area? Really?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. There's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. Just be real careful if you head out that way. All right.
I guess...
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg Volcano. Let's move.
Everything okay with Hootle, Rinwell? He seems kinda out of spirits.
It must be the heat getting to him. We don't get these kind of temperatures back in Cislodia.
Galaglians born and raised here struggle with it too, so it's no surprise.
Aha! So that's why his plumage is so white. He was born in a winter wonderland.
Actually, Danon owls absorb the astral energy of whatever land they're raised in. Where they're born doesn't affect their appearance at all. But that's not why he's white. The real reason is that he's still just a baby.
You mean their plumage changes color depending on where they grow up? Weird.
And with all this traveling we've been doing, it wouldn't surprise me if his wings ended up looking like a colorful painting.
I think he suits his snowy complexion. It'll feel strange to see him change.
How awesome would it be if his head and wings were different colors, and his stomach and sides, like a map of our travels? Ow, lay off, will ya? So much for the heat making him docile.
You've only yourself to blame for that one. Hootle takes pride in his appearance, you know.
Fascinating. An appreciation of aesthetic beauty in an owlet so young.
Dohalim, I think you've drawn his attention.
Well... Rather plain.
Let's see what's going on around here.
Yeah, there might be someone who could use our help.
Yeah! Hey. Just great. Hey! Good.
What?
I think Hootle senses an owl around here.
We've reached our destination.
quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were...
Gotta break through! You're mine!
Everlasting!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. Ugh, so hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast!
Gotta break through! You're mine! No further! You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
Holy Glimmer! It's a duel of the arts!
Damn it! You're mine! You got flyers!
I've got them! Let him marksman handle it!
The enemy wields arc.
All yours!
We'll soon see about that!
Dragon Swarm! I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. A merry distraction.
Here, there's still more to go! Freeze you! I'll be saving...
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Huh. You can make plants grow instantly? What if we use this for fruits and vegetables?
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much.
No further!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Armor won't save you!
Their hide is thick as armor! More where that came from!
Soaring blind free!
What did they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Leave the enemy's arcs to me!
All fast
Can't get out of
no
bed.
complaints here!
Illuminate the dark!
Dragon form!
Holy glimmer!
Raging Luna Storm!
What? No! Soaring light spear!
Anything in armor is all mine! On
Supernova! Dance in the wind! Luna here!
Erosion
I'll be
Fury!
saving! You are in tip-top shape!
As soon as I'm done here.
How could a girl ever say no?
As impressive as always.
Was that a new skill I saw back there?
Indeed. Well, sort of. Actually, it's a family staple harkening back 8 generations.
Maybe you can just write all this down? My face is starting to sting, and my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
You want some too, Xion? Oh, wait. I bet you're hungry more than anything, aren't you?
I'm fine, thank you very much.
Coming through!
Can you see what I can do? Elusive deity! Dragon form! Rotating fire! Are those rocks
Thrilling performance.
Nothing gets by me!
Go for the weak point!
Eagle ray! Far enough!
Thunderfield! Ice tornado!
Soaring light spear!
Do it! Lightning bolt! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Only the best materials in your garments.
You really do have quite the discerning eye, Dohalim.
Yeah, they all kind of look the same to me.
I won't forgive you!
On your...
I shall ensure you survive this.
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm!
Dance in
it. If it cools up, time to get out of the way.
Where are you going?
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like
I'm ready.
about
Demons descend! Flashing fang! No armor! Stop me!
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Dragon form! Plasma shock! The tempest engulfs you!
Illuminate the dark magic land! Holy land!
Devastation!
Lunar corruption!
I'm not done!
Nothing gets by me! Master energy! I never miss! Illuminate the dark!
Hurricane
Come
thrust!
forth, holy glimmer!
Soaring
Holy
light spear!
Hear me! Flame of fury!
Burning
strike! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
Seismic heads up!
Freeze laser!
Try harder! Dragon
Dance in the
form!
wind! Seal! Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact claw!
To achieve such harmony
Takes a singular will.
What's with that shining foe over there?
This one will be difficult to predict. So you want me, do you?
Burn!
Oh, violent darting
Demon form!
You have to aim for the bright area on their back.
I can carve through armor! Aim for the weak spot!
Charge like that can easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Photon flash! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy land! Lunar corruption!
Dragon form!
Watch and weep!
Its armor's
Do
too
it!
strong.
In an instant! Impact claw!
We work well together, like a finely timed
Yours
waltz.
to be let free! Not today!
Rhythm march!
Dragon form!
I never miss!
Anything in armor is all mine! Bloody howling!
Let's get you off
Dragon form!
I'm also ready for
Now you
annihilation!
see what I can do!
Mega ray! One more time!
Very circus!
Is that a healing art? It is. I can't ignore the pain. Not try to be more
I'm
patient.
ready!
Astral energy! Full throttle!
I can feel my power growing!
Here goes! You're mine! Dragon form! Can't get out of this! Raging Luna Storm! Denied! Anything in armor is all mine! Can you take it? Catapult! The flame inside me! Yours to be let free! Catapult! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Negative gas!
Mine!
Dragon form!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact claw!
Looks like it could be worth something.
enemy. It's shining.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Confiscated.
Dragon Swarm! I'll face you!
This world!
Armor won't save you! Elusive deity! Come and face me! Seismic Rupture! Now we're not... Can't get out of this!
Air thrust!
Hurricane
Now!
Thrust! Leave two!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Water, hear my call!
Firmament
Dragon
render!
Swarm!
Raging Luna Storm!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
Seismic Rupture! Orochi's Fury! The tempest engulfs you!
A scream of fate and blood, rending you apart! Bloody howling!
By the power of water!
Lost! Blow them away! Our superiority was undeniable.
It feels invigorating to dominate a battle.
I was certain I saw you yawn.
Come now, I'm certainly not that relaxed. This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Get lost!
Resonate with the earth!
Where are you going?
You're finished!
Thunderfield!
Green face and blood.
Dragon Swarm!
Rending you apart!
Now you see what I can do! Bloody howling!
Raging! The flashing parts are their weak points!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm ready!
Amazing.
All yours, Kisara!
Barely a blip on our radar.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Oh, violent darting wind! Carve now!
Dragon Swarm!
Crossblade!
Enough to
I can handle it!
It's open!
Seal! Mega Ray! This is
Captivity can't get out of this!
Dragon Swarm!
Thunderfield!
Raging, I'm ready!
Here!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Dragon
Certainly
Swarm!
not.
You're mine!
Dance in the wind! Don't mind if I do! Mega Corruption!
Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray!
Now you see what I can do!
Now! Back into the fray!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Lightning! Downfall!
You're mine!
Here's the
I'm
wind!
not done!
The air thrust!
This one's all mine! Devastation!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Take this! I'm not done!
Freeze
You're
Lancer!
finished!
Eat dirt!
We've turned the tables on him.
There are still more left!
Right. No time to hold back.
I'll face you!
Back into the fray! Do it! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes! A merry distraction.
There's still more to go!
The armor is all mine!
No further!
I've been doing really great lately.
crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone, not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid!
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go! This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogles?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Far enough!
Dragon!
Where are you going?
Ignite!
Armor won't save you!
Dragon form! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Simply
Get
incredible.
behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Devastation!
No further!
Hurricane Thrust! Here I come! I'm not done!
With blackened blade!
Hurricane Thrust!
Execution!
Plasma Shock!
Sleep now.
Take this!
Healing circle!
Now I can let loose!
I don't know what I do with that thrilling performance.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Hear my call!
You're ready to go! I'm not done! It's over! On Dragon Form!
Here's another.
Air pressure! Resonate with the earth!
Thrust!
Not on my watch.
Now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
Burning.
Take this!
Here's my call. Feel.
Seismic rupture!
I never miss.
Elusive deity!
Take this!
Rotating pile
Dragon Swarm!
Take this!
Bestow thy mystic
Do it!
Totally! In an instant!
Impact block!
We work well together. Like a finely timed waltz.
I'll be saving this one.
Dragon Swarm!
Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray! A banana! Let's go!
Armor won't save you!
Lightning condemned! Thunder Blade! Magic Kazam!
Dance on the wind!
Holy Lance! Ice
Make it the
Tornado!
official
You're mine!
Clear for us a path!
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
By the power of water! Wind Astral Energy! Flame of
You're
Fury!
finished!
Blow Light!
Cosmic Rupture!
Strike! You
Take
can't
this! Take this! Armor won't save you!
Dragon Swarm!
Seismic Rupture!
Photon Blast!
Elusive deity!
Field! Annihilation! I'll be Mega Ray!
Take this!
Annihilation!
I'm not done!
Where are you going?
Everlasting
Divine! Lightning! Now!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Here come more! We'll just have to keep fighting. The enemy wields arcs too.
We'll soon see about that!
Can't get out of this!
Let's get you all
Ready to
away!
go!
Confiscated!
Reflect what I
Lightning
see.
condemned!
They
Thunder
take
Blade!
this!
Handle!
Far enough!
Blah blah blah!
Armor won't
Magic!
save you!
Here, let me help you!
Dragon Swarm!
First aid! Chinese Supernova!
Negative
Right here's the
Not today!
Thunder Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Benediction light.
Okay, here I go!
Sleep now!
Dragon Swarm! River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Benediction
Well
light.
done!
Okay, here I go!
One at a time!
Dragon Swarm!
None shall escape my judgment! Raging Storm!
What?
Hold on to your arms! Here I come!
It's go time!
Reinforcements incoming! Not a problem! Dead. Here's a healing arc! Sealed! I never miss! I'll be saving
Benediction
this
light.
This one's all mine!
Here, let me help!
Can't get out of this!
Blast the shot!
I'll smash you!
Here, let me help! First
I'll
aid!
grind you into dust!
Raging Storm! Whoa!
Dragon
Let it
Swarm!
hide!
What?
Here, let me help! First
Blast
aid!
the
Light
shot!
Astral- Illuminate the dark! None shall escape!
Elusive deity!
Devastation!
Demon Lance!
Dragon Swarm!
Tornado drive!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc!
Raging Blast the
Cascade!
shock!
Get out of there with the others!
Dragon
I'll
Swarm!
face you! Armor won't save you!
They're all coming after me!
I'm coming, Linwell.
I'm not scared. I'm totally fine.
Denied!
Raging Storm! Banana, let's go!
Bestow thy mystic mercy!
Dragon Swarm!
Allow me to help you.
In your deck, Dohali.
Then tonight's meal is on you. Keep
I
going.
never miss!
Thank you.
Dragon Swarm!
Instinct shot!
Lightning condemned! I'll heal you all! May 1,000 arcs seal!
Take it.
This is looking good.
What would I do without you? I owe you, Sion. Healing is what my arts do best.
Take
All mine
this.
can do is cause havoc and
Dragon
destruction.
Swarm!
Wind Astral Energy confiscated! Light Astral Energy! Blah, 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 magic! Thunder Blade!
Take this!
Blah,
Dragon Swarm!
Does it hurt?
Holy Lance! There you go! Don't let up! Do it!
Winwell! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! You don't mess around!
Ready and ready!
Certainly
not.
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! I'll be saving this one! Photon Blast!
Now you see what I can do!
Do it!
Make the abyssal deep! Clear for us a path.
Giant Formula! Mega Ray! Dance in the wind!
Blast the shock!
Benediction light.
Dance in the wind! You're really, really strong, Alvin!
I'm just trying to do the best I can.
Still, it's It's reassuring to have you around.
As impressive as always. No, I mean you're even better than
Frozen!
Hammer!
It's about to strike!
Look sharp, everyone! The earth throbs in pain.
Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
What would I do without you?
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Just watch and learn. That's enough! Go back down!
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Well, am I improving?
Tremendously. The speed and precision of your aim is simply unmatched.
I had no idea you were watching me so closely.
What do you know? Another big fire monster with nothing better to do than get in our way!
I wonder where the rest of those lights ended up landing. It looked like they were pretty scattered.
Well, whatever they're after, let's just hope none of them are anywhere near a city. An ambush on civilians is the last thing we need.
Well, no rest for the wicked, right? Though with 1 down and 3 to go, it sounds like our headache is just beginning.
I thought you liked the opportunity to flex your muscles.
Against those things? It's not like I have a death wish. Besides, we've already got our hands full saving the world. Dying stupidly won't be much help to the cause.
Yeah, I guess I can't argue with that logic. Sorry.
Hey, is that it over there? Hey, look! We've got way more animals!
I never imagined Law would have a knack for husbandry.
Makes sense since they're on the same wavelength.
You're making me blush over here.
Law, maybe you should consider what that statement actually means.
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing,
Did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegus? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegus.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renin. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Xion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegus and the Renin homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegus?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Xion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegus who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegus. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Xion? Where'd Xion go? How could she just go off on her own? Xion. Xion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Xion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
they will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
When this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Xion!
Alvin?
Only living for the sake of dying.
is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in, then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Well, that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, They contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard? How could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her, no matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No. When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renins. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that'd mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renin technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Law's blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That Red Woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this Red Woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, what's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danins poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danins among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration, to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.